you guys
Yep.
seen? There's been a lot of talk about weight on Twitter recently, Muda. I think you saw it maybe a little bit.
I did, in fact, see this one
I did, that was
degenerate
good.
fascist Twitter account
Yeah, this
known
At
as
Zaptai
Zaptai.
on Twitter.
Zaptai. Yeah, that guy.
Very, very racist guy, I hear. Yeah,
a douche.
Yeah,
well,
like go ahead with all the DMs you've been receiving. But I'm sure it's been a wild adventure for you on the internet.
well, thankfully, no DMs because my DMs are closed. No one can message me unless I message them. But lots of tweets. For those watching who may not know what's going on, I tweeted this picture of Ethan Klein, and he's sort of reclining in his chair like this. And you can see he's rather girthy. He's got some gut to him. He's got some weight
He's
to him. He's
thick.
gained some
He's
weight.
what the boys call thick.
He is thick. He's certainly thicker than he's been in the past. And so I tweeted out this picture, no caption, no context, just to see, what would happen.
I think
And obviously,
the beauty is that
I
you
can't play
didn't
dumb.
caption it. That's the beauty.
Yeah,
Well, that's the beauty
like,
of it,
yeah.
because I did that intentionally because I was like, how are people going to take away from this? But obviously, I know like he looks overweight in the picture, whatever. But instantly, all these people come out of the.
Weight, so when I saw it first, I was just like, that's
Yeah,
just a
really?
guy.
I just saw a
God.
normal guy. That's what I saw. I saw a fascist post a photo of a normal guy.
No,
A photo of a healthy guy.
My favorite thing is,
Yeah, there you go.
like you saw
Yeah.
a comment saying, this post is not only fatphobic, but also anti-Semitic.
Yeah, I didn't really
I
know
don't-
where the anti-Semitism came in though. That
I
was
can definitely see the fat phobic potentially, because I
No,
get called
I
fat
definitely-
phobic
I
all the
definitely
time.
see
Mostly by us.
Yeah,
I don't
get
even know
called
what
fatphobic all the
fatphobic
time.
means. Does that mean like you
Scare
don't
fat
like?
people.
I'm not scared of them.
Just run faster.
Maybe I'm scared
Yeah.
like when I drive a compact car, so when I see them in the road, I get scared. I might do some damage to it. But apart from that, I'm not particularly worried about them.
Jesus Christ.
But, I'm not that worried about them. But
if you're
I had
camping
all
in the
these
woods,
people on Twitter.
if you're
I had the
camping-
Yoko Ono tag team, like Anissa Jamha and whoever this other girl is, tweeting at me, telling
my
me that I
God,
shouldn't
the
be,
Yoko
I shouldn't
Ono
be, I shouldn't be tweeting stuff like that. They're like calling me fat phobic. It's like I don't even know what that means. Like this is a guy whose career is built off making fun of people for their appearance and whatever else. I think it was completely justified.
I mean, I think if you looked into the old history of a lot of these channels, you'd probably find that there was elements of blatant fat phobia when it was accepted, I guess you could say, in the YouTube like game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because there was a period of time where people, I guess somehow like Mandela affected themselves. Like, hey, we used to be completely PC back in the day. I'm like, no. I think I think peak YouTube was like 2014, 2015. YouTube was a lot like edgier. It was a lot into a point where if you were a content creator, like that whole expectation of like, if you're going to dish it, you better be ready to take it. That mentality was very much strong up there, right? Like nowadays it's like, you can't mention like a slight thing anymore. And sure, there's a few people that can take it for sure, right? Like, I mean, if you said some like racy thing to me or some off-color joke to me, I'm not going to personally be offended by it because I'll probably quip back at you with something, that would hit you too, right? Like whatever.
Yeah.
But that market is slowly dwindling away too, and it feels like a lot of the people that are in the older camp have like switched their, content or, a lot of their viewpoints into heavily, going against.
I mean, Justin Wang made a good tweet about this once. He was basically saying like, he doesn't blame anyone for changing out of self-preservation because like I get it, obviously I'm not as edgy on YouTube as I am on Twitter just because the platform doesn't allow for it. I want to make videos, I want to make money, have a job, or rather not have a job doing YouTube. I want to have sponsors, right? And so, there's certain things you do and don't do in certain places to your own benefit, and that's perfectly fair. I think the real issue comes in when you see these people that pretend as if, they're someone they aren't, or pretend as if they were acting a different way back then than they are now. Many examples I could probably name, get your podcast into some hot water or whatever, but basically just stupid that annoys me. It's like, that's like the worst thing to be online right now, these posers.
I think it's I understand like again that Justin Wang tweet is great. The thing about it is like I personally don't like the holier than thou mentality shit, or it's like you can't do this, you can't do that. Like I was watching recently, like again, I don't want to be like naming names because there's no point to naming. I don't want to like start drama. I'd rather just cover the overarching point. When it comes to like a lot of figures who used to be slightly edgier, it's like they'll go back and look at their content and be like, this wasn't okay ever. And I'm like, oh, it was okay when you were, riding the algorithm and growing massively. Now it's okay to like criticize. I'm like, really, guys? Like now we're gonna play the holier than thou card when you were completely off brand years ago, and now you're trying to be like this, new age, new PC. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like
Yeah.
I don't. It's made YouTube so diluted that I feel like every bit of content that all of us even make, right? It's like we've had to change our like. I guess we'd have to change up our content significantly. I would say to just even be on the platform. You know, like even
I
if
was
you're not,
more PC when I started by far. I didn't even curse when I first started because I played games. I just did gaming stuff, and then I would
Really,
like
you didn't curse at all? That's interesting.
I didn't curse at all for like the first year. I did a lot, but I just cut it out. And I was like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. Because you got to understand, I didn't have like any friends on YouTube or anything. I was just like, I just want to make money. Like, I don't even know what's going on right now.
When did you start? When did you start?
2015.
Okay, all right. So that was you were being clean when the rest of YouTube was all like going
filthy,
crazy,
degenerate.
Yeah.
drinking bleach. Yeah,
Exactly,
disgusting.
yeah.
Like with the pigs.
Yeah. And I was like, man, these people are like, just like me in real life. Because I'm way more up and always have been like, just, I don't know. Because I was homeschooled and I grew up in Virginia where just around a bunch of rednecks. And like, I didn't understand any sort of like ethical treatment of people online or anything like that. Luckily, I never just hated anyone. So I didn't like attack anybody online. I never had to delete a footprint or anything like that. And I was fortunate enough to be PC initially, but it was just because I felt like my videos were made for children because I was gaming. Like I would see a lot of my friends cursing and then I'd be like, "Why? I don't really understand." And then I realized like, oh, these are actually like 20-year-olds and some 18-year-olds, and it's like a majority is not children. So I just started saying fuck every now and then, and then I started just making fun of fat people a lot, and my channel got huge.
Yeah, bro. Unless you're playing Roblox, you don't have to like. Yeah, unless you're playing shit like Roblox, cussing is always all right. Like no one cares. Like I know my aunt's kids. I would say like, dude, 2-3 years ago, used to watch a ton of Roblox content, like just all the Roblox YouTubers, and it made me want to like it just made me want to like drink bleach quite literally. YouTube, by the way, drinking bleach is wrong. Self-harm. You should never do it.
We are not
In Grand Theft
promoting
Auto.
Donald Trump's cure for COVID.
In Minecraft.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm not promoting any of Trump's medical advice. But when it came to like Roblox, they're like watching this content and like the people that are making it, like one of them was this guy named Dennis, who seems like he's the funniest dude in the world, right? Like he seems like honestly when the camera is off, he's just like, "Oh boys, let's get the coke out and do a line like this shit."
Oh my god.
Like because every time I'm watching him do any of this content, he's so dead inside, like, hey, let's that's all, like it's like dead-eyed, like he's just like trying to have fun for the kids. And I feel like after he's done recording, he's like, oh, let's literally like fucking bring out the hookers and blackjack boys. We just made like thousands today. Like that's what I feel like Dennis is, right? Or like any Roblox YouTuber, because I feel like when I'm watching somebody, you know what I mean, like you can kind of figure out that like they're just being kid friendly on purpose. And then of course, like even the kids grow out of that. So eventually they went from watching these Roblox YouTubers to like genuinely a bit more, you know, they watched like all the Call of Duty channels, like, you know, fucking, and they just started like their language just changed, their whole demeanors just changed. Like from 1 year, he goes from like watching Roblox content and like being a wholesome little kid to watching Dr. Disrespect talking about like destroying. Like he's just like completely changed. So it's like, yeah, I feel like the moment you get to the point where like it's at like 14-15 year range, is like at that point you're not watching that kid content.
Yeah, something a lot of people don't know is I pay a lot of attention to the Roblox community. I like it a lot. And there's this big channel. I think the biggest one right now is named Flamingo. You guys are probably familiar with him.
Albert.
Oh, I love Albert.
Yeah, Albert. Yeah. Well, he used to have a channel called Albert Stuff, and he was like sort of when 2016 was around, he was way edgier. He was way more unchained, and now he's still kind of edgy, but he's more family friendly, which I get. But back then, he was a lot more off the rails. Is my impression.
Okay, this is the guy that like I don't know. He was like so edgy. He treated every game like an actual war, and I played Fall Guys with him.
Exactly.
It was so sad.
The thing I know about Albert is like people like obviously he's a big Roblox guy, but when it comes to like any of the wildest shit, dude, he was the guy that like helped me. Like he was the guy that tipped me off to the wildest shit. He like tipped me off to like packages delivered around Washington D.C. Like we thought they were like bomb packages at the time.
Really?
Yeah. So he's the guy that like messed me. Like I know this is more like in your camp of content, but did you hear about these?
So he's paying attention to all that stuff.
Oh,
he pays attention.
He does. I think it's just like he probably obviously can't post it for his like audience because that's not even his audience demographic. But it's he's like I know that he loves talking about that kind of shit.
We should get him on the podcast.
We should.
Good idea.
We should have him with Ruben Sim as well.
I was gonna say that reminds me of Wavy Webster with a commentary content. You know, he makes his videos that are pretty tame, but behind the scenes, he's like, oh, the ball's in Keemstar's court. This just happened and this just happened. And it's like, oh, you're paying attention to all of it, buddy.